Synodal Revolution deactivated. The Pope has decided that at the next session of the Synod of Bishops, the second to head on the theme of synodality, which will take place, God willing, in October, no conflicting argument will be dealt with. He has sent a letter to Cardinal Craig, who is the Secretary of the President of the Secretariat of the Synod, asking him to draw up 10 study commissions, which will be dedicated precisely to work on these conflicting issues, some of these more and some of them less, but being aware it is impossible that by October these commissions will have been able to offer something finished, at least sufficiently concluded to the synodal members. In fact, 4 months have passed since the synod ended. Taking into account that it begins in October, there is very little time left, and with the summer in between, the constitution of these commissions have not been done before, which perhaps should have been done, and now is when it begins. The commissions will begin to prepare. When the section of those who will take part, those who will participate in each one of these 10 commissions is finished, the work will begin. All of that will require a lot of time. That is why the Pope has said in a letter he sent to Cardinal Craig that he is satisfied that in October these commissions will be constituted and will be able to give the synodal members simply a report of what they have been doing up to at that moment. And he is satisfied that by June of the year 25, each one of them will have already prepared a document, a final document. He himself, he says in the letter, if this is possible, I repeat, the Pope has deactivated the fuse of what was taught, or what some thought was going to be a revolutionary synod. In fact, now in the letter the Pope says that in this way the synods will be able to dedicate themselves to thinking about how the Church can be the synodal in mission. Well, this is of course an important topic, but certainly a priori. It is not all conflictive. We have to see what will happen later on. In this case, it is no longer of the same importance that in the synod there are lay people with the right to vote. And I say, it is not of the same importance because one of the criticisms that were made last year about these lay people with the right to vote is that many of them did not have sufficient theological competence to be able to decide about such important questions as the female priesthood, for example, on the illicitness of sexual relations with irregular couples. Now, in this case, it is a minor issue. The revolutionary fuse of the synod has been, it is certainly my opinion, has been deactivated. We will see in any case what happens in October. The Pope has decided, he himself has chosen the themes of these commissions. The Secretariat of the Synod will be in charge of preparing these study terms in collaboration with the respective Vatican dicasteries, doctrine of faith, or clergy, bishops, and so on. Ecumenism, well, the name of the commissions already tells us very well which are the problems that the Pope considers essential to confront. The first of these commissions have to study the relationship between the Eastern Catholic churches and the Latin Church, a relationship that at the moment is a bit tense about their approval. The publication of Fiducia Supplicans because all the Eastern Catholic churches have openly rejected that statement, that document. The next commission has to dedicate itself to seize the Pope's text to listen to the cry of the poor. I imagine it will be on issues of social justice. The third one is the mission in the digital environment, how to face evangelization in this 6th continent, that means the digital world. The next one, the revision of the criteria for the formation of priests. This will be a delicate topic, a surely conflicted topic, but one that in any case is already outside the synod, and I say it will be because in the document on the formation of the priest published in 2016, with Francis already serving as bishop, it is clearly stated that those who have a deep-rooted homosexual tendency, or those who are in favor of gay culture, And of course, those who practice relationships cannot enter the priesthood. It says it clearly. This has been repeatedly rejected, especially by the German bishops, but not only by them. Well, this commission will have to be in the charge of how the formation has to be and what conditions have to be required of the candidates who intend to become priests. Next commission, the access of women to the diaconate. It does not say it as such, it says the access of women to the different ministries. It is the subject of the diaconate, the female diaconate, if this diaconate is going to be a diaconate of service or a ministerial diaconate, what competencies it will have, etc. But this, I repeat, to a commission, well, in this case, it would already be the third or fourth commission that the Pope commissions on this topic. It will not enter into synod. The next commission, relations between the bishops, the religious and the movement. The next one, criteria for the selection of the bishop. The next, what is the role of the nuncio? There have also been a lot of criticism on this from some bishops. Then, the ecumenical dialogue, how it has to be at this moment with all the eastern parts, the Orthodox, the Copts, the Armenians. The situation is very bad. Practically, it has been broken precisely because of fiducial supplicants. And then the last commission is a sort of catch-all to put it in everything that is controversial. The Pope does not specify, but he says expressly to put everything, to study in that commission all the topics that are controversial, having already created one for the topic of homosexuality in the seminaries, another for the topic of female diaconate, here possibly the topic of irregular cohabitation without being married in the church. The Pope does not specify it. In any case, I repeat, the conflicting topics will not be dealt with in the next synod, in the October synod. The commissions will present their work in June 25, and the Pope says in the letter, if they have been able to conclude their work. In the previous synod last October, the Pope established and it was complied with a very strict law of silence, and he did it because he wanted the synod members to talk among themselves without being pressured by the media. Now it is more than a law of silence. They will not talk about what generally interests the media. But why has it come to this? It is perhaps because in the previous synod last October, the first part of the synod of synodality, because the previous synod did not produce the results that some wanted, those who thought that they were going to get what they were looking for, that is, the reform according to the German line, since the bishops did not go down that road and it was much less radical than what they expected, is the reason why this has happened, the reason why the next meeting in October has been deactivated. What is going to coordinate these study commissions? Does the Secretariat of the Synod become in this case a kind of theological superstructure about the doctrine of the faith, the clergy, the bishops? These are questions that remain in the air, of course. Besides, to whom are these commissions going to deliver their conclusions? To the Pope, and the Pope will decide afterwards. Or will these conclusions be delivered to another synod that will be convened for whenever? Well, maybe for October of the year 25, and there all or several of them will be debated. In any case, I insist, the October synod will no longer be what it was feared to be. It is not to be the liberal revolution advocated by the Germans. I do not know what it will look like to them, precisely because those topics on which they insist so much have been left off the agenda of the synod. I would like to end by asking once again for prayer for wars, for an end to wars. There is controversy over some words of the Pope about what is happening in Ukraine. We must focus on what is essential. We have to ask for peace. We have to ask for peace. Peace in Ukraine. Peace in the Holy Land. We have to ask for peace. Of course, peace together with justice. Let us pray for peace. It is the best thing we can do, and it is what we should do from a Catholic point of view. Until next week, God willing.